Okay, starting off nice and simple, we've got our model, x is d e to the minus 0.2t, and we are told that the first dose is 15 milligrams. So when t is 0, the drug in the system is 15 milligrams, and we can use that to find out what d is. Okay, now that we know what d is, got a more complete model, we can sub in t is 4 and find out how much drug there would be after 4 hours. I've given my answer in milligrams to 3 decimal places. And that was what the examiner asked me to do. Right, now this second dose is given, and 5 hours after the first one, and now it's 2 hours after the second one. So the first dose goes in, and we know that the amount left is 15 e to the minus 0.2 times the amount of time that's been in there. So the amount of time that the second dose has been in there is 7 hours. So that's how much of the first dose is still in the bloodstream. In addition, there's been another dose. So now this dose has this much left in the system, but this dose hasn't been in as long. It's only been in 2 hours. Now this is the lots of method that we need to show. You couldn't just jump in this question to numbers. You needed to write this down. I needed to actually see e to the minus 0.2 times 7 or e to the minus 1.4. I needed to see one of those two, otherwise I couldn't give you that mark when we were marking this one. So this is show lots of method whenever it says show that. Okay, now they've already given us the answer 13.754 to 3dp. So what we need to do here is show that we have actually calculated that rather than that we've just written down what they said. Okay, so this is what the calculator gives me, and this is the final answer. So we've shown lots of method, and we've shown that it's 13.754 to 3 decimal places. Okay, now same idea. We've got t hours after the second dose. So the first dose has got this much left because it's been in 5 hours longer. And the second dose has got this much left because it's been in for t hours. And we're told that this is 7.5, but I don't like decimals, so I'm going to write 15 over 2. Okay, right, now we need to rearrange this to say t equals, and what we are not going to do is just go learn, okay? That is what lots and lots of students did. We've got all sorts of things written down at this stage, but the most common was something that looked like, oh, it was carnage. Minus 0.2 t plus 5 plus 15, I can't even write it, it's so wrong. Minus 0.2 t equals ln 15 over 2. So you have to look at that and think, what on earth is this student doing? And then you realise that what they've done is learn. So they've cancelled these e's, ignoring the 15 totally, cancelled the e's and done learn to that. No. You can't individually learn. You can't individually square. You can't individually sine. The only thing that you can individually blah is times and divide. You could individually double everything, that's fine. You can individually halve everything, that's fine. But you can't individually anything else, okay? So let's do this properly and not make up any rules of logs and indices. I'm going to start by doubling everything because I don't like that too, but you don't have to. And I'm going to expand that out. I didn't double that. Good. Okay, now I'm going to use the rules of indices that we talked about that you would need to know, and I'm going to write it e to the a plus b would be e to the first thing times e to the second thing. And now I've got a common factor of e to the 0.2t, which I'm going to pull out. Actually, I've got 30 as well. I'll pull that out as well. And I wrote 1 over e instead of e to the minus 1 just because I prefer it. Right, let's divide both sides by 30 and then divide both sides by this as well. Let's write it like this for a start. So I've divided both sides by that, and I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom of this by e, just to make it look a bit nicer. Almost there. Just going to take ln of both sides and divide that over to get t. What's that? That's a fifth, so this would be 1, 5. Okay, this is almost what I want, but not quite, because I haven't got it in this form. But I'm going to move that minus up here to become a power, and then that will allow me to flip this upside down, and then we'll have this. Oh, what was on the... Where's that e gone? Sneaky, he disappeared and turned into a 1. Okay. Okay, so we've got 2 over e plus 2e over e, which is the form required in the question. B is 2, a is 5.